Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20, breaks free to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's ENCORE. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It's the weekend, baby. And I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not watching or following us on Facebook, what? Listen, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button. And now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Oh, yes, there's more. Do us a favor. Do us a huge favor. Go to the shows page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning. All right? Go to the shows page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. And like that page. And now you're following Shawn and Maya in the morning and Sports Zone Chicago. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, listen, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell right next to it. And that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live, whether it's Shawn and Maya in the morning, whether it's Second City Sports, whether it's What's Up Cuz, or whether it's the Smoke Fellas. It'll let you know. Get it? Got it? Good. If you're watching us on our mobile app, yay. Wait, you didn't know? Please don't even tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. Stop playing. Listen. For real? Listen, go. I don't care where you get your apps from. I don't care if it's Google, if it's Google, the Google Play Store, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy's, Montgomery Ward, Venture, Woolworth, wherever you get them from. Do me a favor. Go there. You type in Sports Zone Chicago. You download it. You take us with you on the go, and not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only are they archived there, like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Now, if you're watching us on our mobile app, I like that kind of party, baby. And if you're watching us on our Roku, I said mobile app twice. If you're watching us on a Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. And if you didn't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. All right, so do us a favor. If you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor, download Sports Zone Chicago's tile. Do us that favor. Download the tile to all the devices in your house. I don't care, even if it's in the kids' room, where you're most likely not going to watch it, where they watch all their Barney and Teletubbies, and I don't even know what the hell's on for kids now. Even download it to that TV as well. Download it to all the TVs you have in the house. It'd be appreciated. Now, you can also tweet this show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy, that's CHI, at Sports Zone Shy. And if you want to follow me, just me personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. You want to know what I did? Well, here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the Snapper, and TikTok. All one handle at The Shawn Sierra. You see it at the bottom of the screen, The Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Akai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at The Sports Chica. If you want to follow her, on Instagram because you're an IG and you do it just for the gram, well, just follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. Guys, we have a phenomenal show, but we need you to get interactive with us today. So do us a favor, whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's our mobile app. You can't do it on Roku, that's okay. But just do it on our Facebook. Do it on the other 3 platforms. Leave a question or comment on that particular platform. It'll come up here on the thread. We'll add it. We'll put it on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that is what makes this the best Chicago sports talk show, morning show around. It's you. It's you. So listen, bring it. Don't be, ain't nobody scared over here. Okay? So bring it all. Leave your questions, comments, smart-ass remarks. Like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. All right? We're going to deal with it. And that's what makes this fun, man, is your interaction. Let's see. The chat line is jumping already. Cornelius Squall's in the house. What up, Papa? How you doing? That's what I'm talking about, baby. Cornelius Squall is always, more often than not, he's usually the first one to check in. And I appreciate that. My man, Armando Emeterio Lara Jr., my man Junior's in the house. What up, Papa? How you doing? It is Friday, baby. Dude, this was a long-ass week, and it was a short week. Go figure. It was a long-ass week and a short week. Man, oh, man, oh, man. Let me tell you something. This 4-day week seemed long. Long. I don't know. Michelle Wall's in the Mickey Vicky house. What is up, baby? What? That's what I'm talking about. James O'Bannon. He's like Lions Nation. Hey, I'll tell you what, they look good yesterday. These aren't the Lions of old. I really thought Detroit themselves at some particular point. I don't know. Let me tell you this, James. I don't know if Detroit won that game or Kansas City lost it. How many drops were in that game? How many key drops were in there? I mean, Patrick Mahomes could not have placed the ball any better. Those would have kept drives alive. They would have given them more scoring opportunities. But I'm not taking anything away from Detroit. Detroit is a team that has been on the upswing for the last 2 seasons. Man, they did what they had to do. Kansas City, they're playing without their defensive tackle. They're playing without their tight end, Travis Kelce as well. But you know what? That's the NFL. No one's going to cry about it. No one's going to give a damn. All right? Handle that shit in the offseason. Try not to get hurt during preseason. And you know what? A W is a W. The Lions got the dub. The Lions set the NFL on notice. And you know what? In the process, they stole our thunder. They really, really stole our thunder because remember, how long have I been telling you? 3 weeks? A month? Week 3. Bears at Chiefs. I said, watch. Now the Chiefs are going to be on high alert. Now they're not going to be overlooking anybody. Now they're not going to be taking any game for granted. Not that I'm saying that they would, okay, but you look at Chicago, they came in, with a 3-14 record last year, 10-game losing streak. It's possible. Not anymore. Not after they got a rude wake-up call from the Detroit Lions. So James O'Bannon, your Lions, 1-0, shocked the NFL world and put everyone on notice. We are here. And this is without 2 of your stud wide receivers who are out 6 games for gambling on the NFL on the premises. So Detroit's going to be a lot to deal with. Patty Lair, she's in the house. What's up? Happy Friday to you too as well. My girl, Lavette Lee in the Mickey Ficky house. Lavette, how you doing, mama? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Uh-oh. Monica, good morning, mommy. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Yeah, besides Kelce, their receivers are suspect. Yeah. And then, why did you take the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hand? Why are you running the ball so much? Is Nagy calling plays? Because it looked like a Nagy called fourth quarter yesterday. It did. It sure as hell did. I don't know. You know what? Way to go, Cornelius. Now you just jinxed us. Now you just jinxed us, Papa. Because he will be signed. Crazy. But I didn't even tell you who the hell's on. What the hell, Bobby? Well, listen. First of all, if Monica Jr. and Patty are watching, that means my man Jeremiah is close by. He's watching too. Good morning, Jeremiah. Good morning, Dito. Armando Materio, a lot of the fourth. He's not watching because he's at school. Okay. But I didn't want to forget him as well. So, Dito, Jeremiah, good morning from the Theo SuperBack in the house. Guys, we have a phenomenal show for you. Man, at the bottom of the hour, 9:30. That's why I'm going so fast. I'm talking so damn fast because we got to get it in. 9:30, we have Evan Altman from CubsInsider.com. Cubs are playing good baseball. Even though they lost yesterday, it's a best of 4. If they can win the next 3 and take 3 out of 4, whew, the Cubs drop back to 2 games behind the Milwaukee Brewers, who were off yesterday. They have 3 more games in this set with the D-backs through the Cubs. If they take these next 3, if Milwaukee stumbles at all, it'll be a 1-game lead. It'll be a 1-game lead. Cub fans, you definitely are excited about this. Most of you didn't see this coming. You're hoping for it, but it's here. Your shot at the division is here. Now, mind you still got the whole month of September to go, but the way you've been playing to this point, hey, keep it up. That's all I can say about you jokers. So, Evan Altman at 9:30, join us. And at 10 o'clock, my man's in them. Guys, you know who he is. I was on his show plenty of times when they were on Sports Feed, him and Josh. He's been on this show plenty of times as well. Glad to call him a friend. I still have to head out to his bar, his restaurant out in St. Charles. But I will get there. I'll take my cousin Marlo. Marlo, big shout out to my cousin Marlo and her husband Demetrio. We'll go there for lunch one day, I promise, soon. All right, my man, Jared Payton joins us at 10 o'clock talking Bears. What better person do you want? Look, I got my Bears jersey on. We're going to have Jared Payton on. What better person? Name me a more appropriate person to talk Bears on the eve or 2 eves of the season opener. Give me one more person. Who better to talk to than Jared? I'll wait. I won't wait long because there's really nobody. There's nobody better. So, 10 o'clock, Jared Payton. Man, call your wives, call your girlfriends, call your mistresses, call your aunts, your uncles, your brothers, your sisters. That's going to be one hell of an interview. One hell of an interview. So make sure you tune in. Because, whoo, Charlie. I like it. I like it a lot. What do we got here? All people. You know what? I just finished. So I finished my exercise goal and my move goal for the day. When I finished my exercise goal after CrossFit, because they want you to exercise for 30 minutes. I usually start it when I get there. Or actually, but right before I'm about to stretch, because that's movement. That's energy exposed or expensed. So the warm up, the whole thing, and then stretching. So it's usually about 80 to 90 minutes, and I'll hit whatever. All right, more than the 30 that they asked, and the move goal, then the stand-up goal. So if you guys got your Apple Watch, you know how you get those notifications. You gotta move. You gotta be active. But anyway, I digress, guys. I'm fired up. I'm extremely fired up. NFL has started. What a phenomenal game last night. That changes some things. But we'll discuss that later. And guys, you know how we do. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning.
First, top of the morning topic. Cubs was a tough one yesterday. Cubs fall to the Arizona Diamondbacks yesterday at Wrigley, 6-2. Javier Assad, he was on the bump. He got the loss. He's 3-5 for the season. He went 5 1/3, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, and 1 walk. Nico Horner 2 for 4 with a double, his 26th. Dansby Swanson, he was 1 for 4, driving in his 71st RBI of the season. And the Candyman, the Candyman, he had an RBI yesterday, driving in his 69th run of the season. As I said, it's a 4-game set for the Cubs. So you take 3 out of 4, that's a hell of a series. If you split, see this extra game. See the extra game in this weekend. Now, mind you, they all end up playing 162, so it doesn't really matter in the end. It doesn't really matter. Okay. But had the Cubs won yesterday, they'd be a game out of first place. All right, with 3 to go. But they didn't. So they're 2 games out. They handle business. If they can handle the next 3, okay, then they're in good shape. They'll be in good shape. Arizona Diamondbacks are not an easy team. All right, they're in second place in the NL West, 73 and 68. So this is no pushover. This isn't the Colorado Rockies or the Oakland A's or hell, my Chicago White Sox or Kansas City Royals. This is a good team. All right, this is a good team that's fighting for a wild card spot because the Dodgers are running away with it. They're up 13. They're up 13 games in the West. That's not good. That's not happening. So let's go. Let's fight for a wild card spot. So game 2, the next top of the morning topic is game 2 of the series of the 4-game set is today at Wrigley. Jameson Taillon is on the mound for the Northsiders. He's 7-9 with a 5.73 ERA. He's going up against Zach Gallen, who's 14-7 with a 3.48 ERA. That game kicks off at 1:20 p.m. So right after this, or shortly after this show is over, and that can be seen on the Marquee Network or can be heard on 670 a.m. Moving it along. The White Sox. Yeah, oh yeah. My White Sox. They travel to the D. See, now you got to understand. There's a thing called the D, and they're called the Big D. So if you're saying the D, you're talking Detroit. Okay? If you're saying Big D, you're talking Dallas, Texas. Okay? So, because you know how everything is just much bigger in Dallas, in Texas, I should say. But what is this? Here we go. So they're in Detroit for the weekend. Mike Clevenger's on a bump. For the good guys, he's 6-7 with a 3.90 ERA. He's going up against Reese Wilson today, who's 3-6 with a 4.65 ERA. First pitch you see is at 5:40. Yeah, I don't know what I'll be doing. You can watch that on NBC Sports Chicago. And you can listen to it on the new radio home of the White Sox, ESPN 1000. That's 1000 AM. The White Sox are miserable. They are a laughingstock. They don't really care. They don't. They do not care. As we speak, you know, at least the White Sox couldn't lose yesterday. I mean, they might have lost ground, but when you're 32 games under 500, it is in a season where you're supposed to have been contending, not just for the AL Central. No. You're contending to win the pennant. Come out of that, out of the American League. Those were the expectations for the White Sox this year. And nope. It's a failure of a season. which is why they fired the president of the senior vice president of baseball operations, Kenny Williams, and the vice president and general manager, Rick Hahn. That's why they're both fired. So it's just an embarrassment of a season. But I digress. The next top of the morning topic is the sky. Our ladies. The sky hole. What did I put? What the heck? That is funny. It wasn't even me. It was autocorrect. How can you do that to me? I can't believe it. But the Sky, the South Loop tonight, they are hosting the Minnesota Lynx at Wintrust Arena. That game is at 7 o'clock, and that is on the Ion Network. I think Fridays they have a contract with Ion, and then I think Saturday ESPN, something like that. So it's good to see they got a couple small TV deals. Every little bit helps, and then you can help as well. Okay, so especially if you're one of those blowhards who's bitching and moaning about the disparity in pay from the NBA and WNBA, then here you need to put your money where your mouth is. Shut your pie hole, all right, and get your ass to the Wintrust Arena for a Chicago Sky game. You want to support them? You want their salaries to go up? Then you need to support. You need to buy swag. You need to buy a whole bunch. Maybe while you're there, buy a jersey, buy a hat, buy anything. Or when you go to Walmart, when you go to Dick's Sporting Goods, wherever you go, and they have some Chicago Sky apparel, buy some. That will help narrow the gap. It's never going to get close. Let's not get it twisted. But there's a lot of room for growth, and they can get paid a lot more. But that's got to come for you. So all you blowhards who are complaining about it and saying it's not fair, no, actually it is fair. It is fair. You generate the amount of you'll earn how much you earn for the people, for your bosses. End of story. End of story. So make a difference. Get out there, support. On the way there, if you get there late, listen to them on the radio. Actually, they're not on the radio. So if you're home, watch them on Ion. All right, get those ratings, get those numbers up. That's how you can help if you're not going to go to a game. The next top of the morning topic, let me tell you, I am fired up. Our Chicago Bears host the Green Bay stupid Packers on Sunday at Soldier Field, 3:25 kickoff. It's going to be on Fox 32. You can listen to it on their new radio flagship, AM 1000 ESPN. Big game. It's a huge game. Okay, you got two franchises, the oldest rivalry in football, with young quarterbacks. The Green Bay Packers have a new quarterback starting. He's been on the team for 2 years, maybe 3. Jordan Love sat behind Aaron Rodgers, but now it's time to find out what he's got. All right, Rodgers has been shipped off to the New York Jets, and now it's Jordan Love versus Justin Fields. It really isn't because it's a team, but that's the way they're going to bill it and spin it. The Bears have to take control of this game. The Bears have to take control of this game. We're going to talk about it at 10 o'clock at the top of the hour with Jared Payton. But the Bears need to take control of this game and take control of it fast. And don't give Green Bay any shot. And one of the things that's very advantageous to the Bears is the 2 wide receivers from the Packers, Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson, both did not practice the last couple of days due to tender hamstrings. So I don't know if you've ever had a tender hamstring or ever pulled your hamstring. It's not a nice thing. So the only thing you can do is rest. There's no pill you can take. You can only rest because the muscle has to heal itself. A hamstring issue, it's a slight pull, so it's a slight tear in the hamstring. If that materializes where they don't play, then you better load up that box because they're going to run the hell out of the ball to try and beat you and shorten the game. But a big opening day. It's one of the bigger ones I've seen in a long time. You know, there's a lot riding on it, and it's only one game, so the season's not going to be over if they lose. Okay? It's not. But this guy has to play very, very well. If this guy plays well, if DJ Moore plays well and lives up to his billing, and Chase Claypool is back when he's been back and he's healthy. Darnell Mooney's been back and been healthy, according to Coach Eberflus. Okay, well now, and then you got Cole Kmet and Robert Tonyan. Not to mention the three-headed backs in the backfield. Justin Fields has plenty of weapons. Plenty. It is time. It's time for Justin to show how badass he is. It's time. It's time. It's time. And the next top of the morning topic, the last top of the morning topic, man, Joey Burr. I just had to do it because this dude is cool. He's so damn cool. Joey Burrow signs a 5-year, $275 million extension. 218.7 million. So I just rounded it up. You know, we can do that over here. $219 million guaranteed. Are you freaking kidding me? Making him the highest paid NFL player ever. Forever. No, not forever, ever. Trust me. Someone will eclipse that. But for right now, he is the highest paid NFL player in the history of the NFL. Now he's got to get him back to a Super Bowl. If he can do that, and if he can win him one, trust me, you do not worry about the $275 million. And the reason I brought this up is because Justin Fields is up for an extension after next season. No, after this season. I'm sorry, after his third year. You can pick up his 5th-year option. So you can pick it up and then wait. So what is he going to do? What are they going to do? Believe you me, the Bears are watching. This year, surrounded Justin Fields with a better offensive line, with better receivers, better running backs. And I don't think it's going to be on the win-loss record. I think it's going to be on his performance. Because if your defense gives it up, which he shouldn't, but if he does, that's not on Justin. If your wide receivers drop balls and juggle balls like they did for Patrick Mahomes yesterday or they did for Justin last year, it's not his fault. But that's why they improve those position groups. Because they want a true evaluation to figure out if he's going to get a $275 million like a Joe Burrow. But I digress. Joe Burrow, cool as the other side of a pillow. I like him, and I think him and Jamar Chase can do some crazy damage again this season over in the Queen City of Cincinnati. But here's what we're going to do. Let me tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And the other side of the break, we're going to welcome my mans and them. All right, he might be coming out of a Wu-Tang concert last night. I don't know. We got to ask that dude. My man Evan Altman, the editor-in-chief over at CubsInsider.com, is going to join us and talk about this Cubs team that is playing some very meaningful and very exciting. You know that kills me to say that, you sons of biscuits. Very exciting baseball. Evan Altman coming up next. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Chi. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness, So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Today, the wrist is just fine.
In the air, left field. Hat back. Ian just shy of the track. He makes the catch.
Started off. There's a base hit for Corbin. It's in the gap. Perdomo heads for second. He'll dig for third. Happ picks it up out there. Carroll into second. And he takes a tumble around Nico Horner and runs into an out. He's out of the baseline.
Drilled to center. Thomas back some more. Back. And it's off the wall. And Suzuki around second. He's on his way to third. And Seiya's got a triple. Ground ball, base hit, center field. Nico's coming in to score, and it's 6-2.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of the Marquee Network. Those with the Cubs. The North Siders yesterday couldn't get it done against the D-backs in the first of a 4-game set at the friendly confines. Like I said, this is no punk. They're in second place in the NL West, excuse me. So they got some work. They got their work cut out for them. Well, my next guest is a good friend of the program, and I was looking forward to getting him on and talking to him about this playoff baseball that the teams are playing. This Cubs team is playing. You've seen him on here before. He's been rocking with us for a few minutes. That's what I'm talking about. He's the editor-in-chief over at CubsInsider.com. You can find him on Twitter at @DEvanAltman. Guys, it's welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Evan Altman. Evan, what's up, Papa? Good morning. How we doing?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm just hoping DJ Moore can catch more balls than Sky Moore, right? I hope it's not a Moore thing because I had the Cubs game on the one TV. I had the Thursday night football game on the other one, and I got Pat Mahomes on a couple of my fantasy teams. And I'm just sitting there like, could you guys catch a pass, please? Like the one interception, the pick six. Like I hate it. Can we amend the rules? Because that interception is on the receiver. If it hits you in the hands and falls into the DB's hands, that's not on the QE. Hey, if I throw a dime, I would be pissed if that happens, right? It's like a pitcher throwing a ball a foot above the zone and some guy going up and hitting one of his eyes and taking it out. You're like, what? Huh? That's not my fault, man. He's made a play. But anyway, I just had to get that off my chest because it was super. And it happened against the Lions, man. We can't be having the Lions win in Kansas City to start the. Come on.
You know what I said, Evan? They ruined my mojo. They stole our thunder. I've been telling everyone for the last month. I said, watch week 3, Bears at Chiefs. I said that could be Justin Fields' coming out party. Him again, the different storylines, Mahomes and Justin Fields. All right, Nagy coming, welcoming his old team back. there's so many different angles, and I think this would have been a great time for the Bears to step up, possibly upset them, but maybe just give them a good game and give them a scare, but kind of announce their presence. Well, yeah, thanks Detroit for taking all that and doing one. But I know Chris Jones wasn't playing. I know Kelsey wasn't playing, but you know what? No one gives a rat's ass. They don't ask you, well, were they playing when you lost? No. Did you win or did you lose? Yep. Kansas City lost. Detroit won. And here's the other bad part. Detroit's got so much, God bless it, confidence now.
Yeah. And I mean, hey, look, David Montgomery's got a chip on his shoulder, right? He's going to
last touchdown run.
Woo! Yeah. And that's one of the things and that's what I get it, right? Today's NFL is a little bit different from kind of how he has really I was always most impressed by him when he would run it between the tackles and drag guys with him, right? Even if it was only 3-4 yards. That was what was always fun to me to watch. But you got him and you got Amon-Ra St. Brown just doing whatever the heck he wants, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not feeling good about I said it from the start. I think it was a better deal for the Rams immediately to get Matthew Stafford, but I think having Jared Goff in Detroit is a better deal for the Lions in the long term, and it sucks. I don't like it. But let's stop. Let's talk about something different. You didn't have me on here to bitch about the Chiefs game, so
hey, I'm here to talk sports, Papa. We could go any direction. You know what I mean? I'm multifaceted like that.
There we go.
But speaking of your Cubs, man, God bless you. You know how difficult this is for me, dude. This is I got one of my friends, and she's like, it's gonna be okay. She's like, here it is. You'll be okay, Shawn. But let's be honest, Cubs are playing some kick-ass baseball at the right time. You're playing meaningful baseball in September. Right now you're 7-3 in your last 10. You guys are on a roll. You keep winning series after series after series after series. I mean, granted, you didn't want to lose to the White Sox, and you should have swept Detroit, but you can't argue very much about just taking series and series and series. Talk to me about how excited you were, even though with the loss yesterday, it just put them just 2 back now since Milwaukee's out. But God bless it, dude. This team they're focused. They're all on the same page. There's no distractions. They're going for it.
Yeah, and I mean, you're seeing some things come together a little bit for a while there, right? As the offense that was kind of having to carry the load. We didn't see, the pitching wasn't looking great. There was some concerns when, even though Marcus Stroman had not been pitching well, you still don't want to lose one of those guys. But Javier Assad steps up, not a great game last night, but he's pitched really, really well.
Yeah.
Right? They call up Jordan Wicks. He's gone 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
Just continues to strengthen his potential.
Dude, that dude's a monster, bro.
Yeah. And like that's, and here's the thing. Wicks, drafted by the Cubs, homegrown. Javier Assad, international free agent signing from the Cubs. Justin Steele, drafted and developed by the Cubs. So now you're talking about the homegrown pitching that we've been waiting on year after year after year is finally, you got Luke Little coming up, striking out 2 dudes in the 9th inning the other day, right? So they're bringing these guys through the system. You're seeing a more aggressive approach with that. And then at the same time, you're getting those contributions, right? You get a Dansby Swanson who, hey, he hadn't been hitting real well over the last month or so, but he's a Gold Glove, right? He leads all defenders in the majors, at least the National League, but I think it's all position players in outs above average. He's got 15. Guess who's second? Nico Horner with 14. So and then you got Cody Bellinger, who's either playing first or center. We talked about that heading into the season. Defense up the middle. When your pitchers are confident that they don't have to strike guys out, I can give up contact. My defense is going to vacuum that all up. It's good. That allows you to go out there and play loose, and that's what we're seeing from this team. They're just playing consistent, playing loose baseball.
More aggressive. And if you're a pitcher and you know the guys are vacuuming it up, shit, I'm going to come at you. Yeah. I'm going to come at you because I got the confidence in these 7 guys behind me that they're going to get it done. If it's a play to be made, they're going to be made, and that's huge. That's huge for them. Is this a fairy tale thing, or is Cody Bellinger real, or is this like AI we're watching on TV? Because like this dude doesn't even look real. Like his ability, like homer after key hit after RBI. This guy. It's been a while. Talk to me about your thoughts on how awesome this dude is, and this was my worst nightmare. I'm like, oh, he's going to be so awesome for the Cubs this year. And my friends get to talk so much shit to me, which I hate, but I digress. And then talk to me about the likelihood of him signing, because he's declining that option and he's going to hit the free agent market. But Cubs got to go after this dude, man. He is just, God forbid, if he can play at this level, oh my God. And if he doesn't, play just a level below, you got a once again a reborn superstar.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at a guy who, again, right, rookie of the year, MVP, hot right out of the gate for those first 3 or 4 seasons, and then things started to tail off for him. But at the risk of like patting myself on the back too much, when I went back, like when I looked at, because you can read all the stories, like everybody talks about the off season, right? Whether you're with a new team or whether you're coming off of a bad year, an injury or whatever, it's pretty common that somebody changes something up with a workout, or they do some little bit different, right? Best shape of their life. We see that all the time. and he did make some of those changes, right? He tried out some yoga type stuff. He worked with a personal trainer for the first time ever, which is kind of wild in this day and age for an athlete who's 28 years old, been in the league for a while. Like most of these dudes have their own, nutritionist and trainer,
Chef,
and all, like,
and
like that's taken for granted. But for him to have done that for the first time, but I think rather than taking that at face value, there's a really interesting clip, and I was like breaking down his swing from the past few seasons compared to what it looked like during spring training. And you could see some I say obvious differences. Like, I'm used to this stuff just as a coach myself, working with my son. I'm breaking down swings all the time, like minutia and all that. If you just looked at it in regular motion, you might not pick up much, but you could see that the athleticism was back. After dealing with the shoulder injuries, he had a leg fracture, and as a hitter in a something that is so dependent upon timing, it was really clear his timing had just been off for a while, and he wasn't trusting the shoulder. He was having to load the hands early and kind of preset some stuff. And
he was compensating for that.
Yeah.
It happens with athletes. Like, because he doesn't trust the shoulder, he's got to get his hands around faster and try to use more of his core, as opposed to, your body's in sync. How much torque you have with your core, how much your shoulders are, how much your arms are being used, and it's all in your swing every time. And when one of those things off and you compensate for it, that throws it off. And he was a victim of that because of his injuries.
Yeah, and you see it now, and I think the most telling part of it is in his 2-strike approach. He's able to sit back on some of those pitches more, because before, right, if you got to cheat and get the hand started early, you're screwed if you don't guess right on that pitch, because you're all moving. You can't stop. I'm geared up for a fastball. If I get off speed, I'm done. And we saw his strikeout rate jump. It has dropped dramatically. Again, big thing, 2 strikes. Watch that dude hit with 2 strikes. He's out wide. He's not having to start early. He's able to sit back. If it's fastball, he can still get the hands out quick enough and adjust. If it's off speed, he can wait back on it. I mean, I don't know how many times I've seen this dude take an outside pitch, low and outside, and just loft it. Just a little, little pitching wedge. Boom, just soft one. And if he catches the pitch he wants and it's middle in, he's going to drive it into the bleachers. That's having the confidence in your body, because there's nothing worse when you make your living with your body. And that those are your tools, right? We can talk about the bat and the glove, but your real tool is your body. And when that tool is dull, and when you can't sharpen it, and that's the problem. When you're hurt, and you can't use it properly, then it's in your head. So that even when you do get healthy, you've got to adjust this for a while, right? You got to get out, man. You've done it before, right? You coming back from injury. It's not the body that's the problem at that point. It's the mind. And it took him a couple years, I think, to answer the second part of that question, right? He was able to get that right. People talk about, the Dodgers couldn't fix it. Well, sometimes that's not about the Dodgers. Sometimes that's about him. You get in a new situation. It's clean. It's clear. You're fresh. Things are different mentally. And I do think there's a good chance with that, because I have to feel like he's got to love this environment that he's in right now with what's going on there. They love what he brings to the table. He's just everybody loves Cody Bellinger. How can you not?
Dude, it's not one. I've never heard a bad thing about him ever.
Yeah.
Ever. He parties too much. He's out late. He's, domestic, but nothing. The dude's like, it's nothing. He just hits home runs. He got injured, crazy couple years, got injured, comes back, hits home runs, doubles, RBIs. Nothing bad about this guy at all. Seems like a great character guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's not the the vocal leader, rah guy, but you need some dudes like that who are just super even keel, who are just laid back, who everybody loves. They want to be around him. This dude's going to get along with anybody. It only makes sense for them to do what it takes to bring him back in because you don't know what's going on elsewhere. This isn't like a typical free agent thing where you got to sell the dude on the team. Like he's already sold on the team. It's just a matter of does he want to stick around there or does he want to maybe chase an even bigger paycheck somewhere else? But I think the chances are good because both sides clearly are vibing and happy with what's going on right now.
Yeah. Talk to me, guys. We're joined by Evan Altman from CubsInsider.com, talking Cubs baseball here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Talk to me about Justin Steele, dude. What the heck? This dude is just like a robot. He's just you see why he was an all-star. He comes in, he shuts people down. You know, he's going deep into games. This is what you want. He's looking like a bona fide ace.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously the comparison's easy because he's left-handed, but he's got that John Lester feel to him. You know what I mean? Of like that dog that's out there that like he's gonna find a way to beat you. And the dude's only got 2 pitches, right? He's fastball slider, pretty much. You might see a changeup once in a while. Maybe you'll see a curveball. Fastball's different. He can manipulate it a couple different ways. So realistically, it's like 3 pitches. But he knows he's good. He's confident in himself, and he's finally like truly healthy. I know he had the short IL stint earlier, but this is a guy who had real struggles in the minors being able to rack up innings and appearances because he was never truly healthy. So people didn't get a real good look at what he was doing. And so he has kind of burst on the scene. But what's impressive to me, prior to last year, he had never pitched even 99 innings in a professional season. Last year, he goes to 119 innings. This year, right, he blows past that. The game that he set his new career high for innings, he also threw 111 pitches, which is his career high. 110, which at the time was his career high. And he's only gotten better. Like his last 2, he just had his best start of his career, setting these new marks. And so I think, like we said with Bellinger, you're looking at a guy who really committed himself to getting in shape, to preparing for that season. And some guys wilt under that pressure of like, kind of having to become an ace and, pitch in some of these big games. And then some guys step up even bigger. He's the latter. I mean, he is super confident in his own abilities. And I think just that, again, it's that bulldog mentality to just go out there and do what it takes to get wins. And he's super humble about it too, right? Like he's going to be fiery on the mound. And then as soon as he steps off, all that credit's going to his teammates and everybody else. So you love having a dude like that at the top of the rotation. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's if they had to play one playoff game, elimination game, that's your dude. That's you go with him. You feel really, 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 really comfortable that you're going to come out of that game with a dub. What do you see that the Cubs need, or what are they missing? All right, they're playing really well. They're playing really, really well. Where would you like to see them improve at this stage of the game with 20-something games left? They're 2 games back. The last 3 are in Milwaukee. I mean, what better way to end the season? Like you go into their home and take the division if you can. But where do you think the Cubs need to play better or be better at in order for them to get to make those final 3 games meaningful?
Yeah, I mean, right now, there's a couple the power consistency, and we're seeing, there'll be some games where they'll drive a couple out, but especially on that right side, Hap doesn't hit as well from the right as from the left. Patrick Wisdom's had some real struggles, between the contact stuff. You've got again, who now it's escaping me who I was just thinking of, but they're not. Oh, Chris Morrell, right? We saw him hit a big home run the other day, but he's been scuffling for the last couple of months. We mentioned Swanson. He's not really doing much. Suzuki's coming back around, right, in a big way over the last month. But we've already, this team, we mentioned Bellinger, but this team was already kind of built without a whole lot of lefty power. And so you knew it had to come from the right side. But lately, that kind of consistent approach, that ability to drive balls out of the yard against good pitchers, to be able to beat, because at the end of the day, look, we talk about, hey, pitching wins championships, whatever, but that the opposite of that is true as well, is when you get into those playoff races, when you're playing those tight games and you have the best pitchers, the team that hits the most home runs pretty much always wins, because the scoring is lower. The hits are fewer and further between. You need to be able to drive the ball out of the yard. And, again, they're going to have to do that. So from that right side, I'd love to see them just a little more consistent pop, especially those top few spots, right, where you got, it depends on how they kind of set the order up. But it's just not there as much as you'd like. When it is, they'll blow a team out, right? And then they'll win, score 15 runs. But then we see games like last night where they can only scratch out 2 runs. We see a couple games against the Reds that they lost in walk-off fashion because they could only combine for 3 runs in those 2 games, and that's just not going to get it done.
Well, at least you didn't lose on a balk-off like we did.
It's true. How do you even? There's certain times, man, I feel like that just sucks in the worst way. And I get that you can't just suspend the rules, but man, there are times where that's just tough to watch. It's like, come on.
I look when I'm watching the game, I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding? Every time I think we've sunk to our lowest, they're like, oh, hold my beer. Hold on, we got you.
give me that shovel again. Let's see. Oh, we got a post hole digger here. Somebody bring in some heavy machinery. Like, we got to dig this thing deep. We haven't hit water yet, boys. Let's go.
Yeah, it was nuts. So, talk to me about David Ross. I don't really hear a lot about the fire David Ross people anymore. I guess they're in the bathroom getting some chips in the kitchen or something. Talk to me about how good of a job he's doing leading this team. I've always been a big fan of his. I like his style. I like the culture that he created when he got here. People tend to just ignore culture or just think it's a myth, and I don't understand it. But nonetheless, talk to me about him and what kind of job you think he's doing this year, especially keeping these guys focused on the same page and locked in for so long. Because they were locked in August, and now they're still locked in now in September. That's 2 whole months where you got to be locked in. You're literally playing playoff baseball in those 2 months before you just to get to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's done a pretty solid job. I mean, there's some things, strategically, especially early on that I would critique a little bit more. And I think some of the lineup decisions were a little bit funky, but at the same time, you've also got to work around kind of who you've got from a personnel standpoint and who's playing well. And they had some injuries here and there. So that stuff's all out there. It's funny though, because I think I can't remember a time. I mean, I guess in 2016, because they were rolling and they went wire to wire, there wasn't a whole lot that anybody could complain about with Joe Madden. But what's funny is, they went from, at one point in the season, they were 10 games under. They got up to 12 games over. It's the first time ever in the history of the franchise that had gone from 10 under to 10 over or better in a season, right? Wow. But so you would think right now would be like, wow, what a great job they've done. But then it just becomes, well, if they were better on Sundays, if Ross was better on Sunday lineups, they never would have been 10 games under, so it's like it's still there, but it's just like that, when they were bad, it was his fault. Now that they're good, it's, despite him, which is funny. But I think his greatest strength, and I've said that, I said this about Madden as well. And, to keep it within a good Chicago comp, I mean, they remind me of more the Phil Jackson kind of, it's not necessarily the strategic stuff that David Ross is going to do the best at. It's managing those egos. It's keeping the team loose and going in the right direction mentally. And then, you've got guys like Dustin Kelly, the hitting coach, or Craig Driver, who works with the catchers. Or you got Mike Napoli over there at first base and working on some things. Tommy Hotovy, he's got his strategists who are there to work on the nuts and bolts. And, that's your Tex Winter, right? That's your Johnny Bach. That's those guys who are out there kind of helping the rest of it. See, I can throw it back to 90s Bulls, even though I wasn't a Bulls fan, right? But I know it's 2 guys, right? But no, his lieutenants do the work, right? And he's able to be the general and just kind of guide the main direction. And I think he's done a really good job of that, because like you said, the vibe, the chemistry, whatever we want to call it, right? Those things that kind of that's not going to be the overriding factor in your season. But when you look at all these other things and you're looking for what's that little edge that could push us one way or the other, I think he's done a really good job of kind of managing the personalities.
Well, it's going to be a fun month of September for you and all of Cubs Nation. Every game is important. Every game it means something, and every game was going to put you half game up, half game back, and depending on what Milwaukee does, a game up, a game back. It's going to be a fun stretch, man. But before we let you go, Evan, do me a big favor, let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
Yeah, just check out CubsInsider.com. If you're looking for us via social media outlets, Real Cubs Insider on Twitter or X or whatever it is now. You can search Cubs Insider on Facebook, and you can also check us out on YouTube. We've got some podcasts and other videos up there. So we're all over the place.
Dude, great stuff, man. I appreciate it. I know you got to be happy. My Cub fans are loving it. Not only are they loving the Cubs fighting for not just a playoff spot, but the division. They love giving me shit left and right, and I can't say a damn thing back except shut up.
That's the best way to do it. Hey, it's always easy, man. You know what I mean? When it's easy to throw stones at a glass house when you're living in a concrete bunker. It's much easier that way. That's why I like doing it.
Well, we got to start building our bunker over on the south side because, man,
Yeah,
it's full of bullet holes and everything if we're on the south side. Hey, man, we'll be in touch soon, man. You have a good weekend.
All right, sounds good. You too.
All righty, thanks.
All right, see ya.
Guys, that's Evan Altman from CubsInsider.com talking Cubs baseball. And you guys, I'm telling you, you guys are in a great spot, man. You guys are in a great spot to take the division. Not many people thought the Cubs would have that opportunity, and you're hoping for a wild card, but it is smacking you dead in the face. You have that opportunity. You have the ability. You come out of the end of the season as the NL Central champs, solidifying a playoff spot, and things are going well. And schedule makers, the gods, whoever you want to call it, placing the last 3 games in Milwaukee against the Brewers, because it could have been against the Reds, could have been against the Pirates, could have been against the Cardinals, and those 3 things. Now you're having to scoreboard watch. And what did they do? Here it is. Stay close. Keep it within 3 games. I mean, imagine if you're 2 games back. All right. Imagine if you're 1 game back. You know what I mean? Like it's going into the final 3 games. If you're 2 games back and you got to sweep, or what if you're 2 games up and you got to win 1 game? Can you do it? Or what if they're 2 games up and you got to win out? Like I said, you got to sweep. That's the cool part about having a team playing meaningful games and fighting for a division. It's every single night is something is must-see TV for your fan base. Well, listen, now that we're done with those guys, let's talk about a team we can all get excited about. My man, Jared Payton's going to join us on the other side of the break, and we got some Bears talk. I am fired up. You see, I'm dressed in my Shawn Sierra jersey, 33 jersey. My Bears hat. I'm fired up for Sunday. It is a huge game. Start the season off, the era of a new era up in Green Bay without Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. Will he struggle? Will he have anyone to throw to since his top 2 receivers have hamstring issues? We're going to find out. I want to talk to Jared on the other side of the break. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
To run for 17, back he goes, here comes Chubb, there goes the ball, touchdown, Jones will walk at the left tackle, time for Fields, now he'll accelerate to get the first down, break tackles, and he's off to the races, and we got a terrific block.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
So I've come up with the family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I need for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
These scissors really come in handy in art class. These colored pencils, too.
These new socks, they can be a real lifesaver.
I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
No, I don't think that was necessarily. I mean, that's part of it, but I think it's always you're just trying to get who you believe are the best five and the best chemistry of that five together each time. Yes, that's a process as you're thinking big picture, but when you go week to week in the league, you're just trying to figure out what's the best combination for that week or what's the best five to give us a chance to go win.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips are courtesy of ChicagoBears.com. That was offensive coordinator Luke Getsy, and yeah, he's on the hot seat. I shouldn't say the hot seat, but he's in the scrutiny as well. He's got a lot to prove. He's got a stud quarterback. He's got weapons for his quarterback. And it's all going to revolve around this offensive line. It's games, as you well know, are won in the trenches. Offensive and defensive line. My next guy is no stranger to that at all. He is a great friend of the program. I am fired up to talk to this guy because you see, I'm decked out of my junior. I'm ready to go. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play, baby. All right, I'm ready to play. I'm fired up. And you can see him on 5 days a week. GN Sports every night. Channel 9. You can find him on Twitter at Peyton Sun. That's S-U-N. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya, our guy, Jared Payton. JP, what's up, Papa? How you doing?
Yeah, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. Yes, sir. You know what time it is.
I should have worn that sweatshirt that I sent you the picture of. I was like, damn, I didn't think about it until I saw yours.
Dude, what's going on, man? How you living?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
I'm not gonna lie. Hey, I gotta tell you something though, Shawn. I was asleep, man. I've been so tired. Like this grind of football being back. And like just every single year that I've been in this gig, right? Every time I think I'm going into this is going to be year 8 for me at WGN. Every single year it's always been something different. And my life has evolved. Like with my kids growing up, with like the work kind of stays the same at work, but then like my stuff outside of work is growing. So it's like, bro, I'm growing right now and I'm tired, but I can't wait for football to start though. Like Bears on Sunday is just super exciting to me, man. I can't wait. If you knew what I have on this phone, like the stuff that I have cut up ready to go for like either Saturday and Sunday for Bears stuff, like if people could see my drafts of stuff that I have ready to post, I'm telling you, I'm like ahead of the game. I'm ready already.
Because because you know how we do, man. We're football players. We got to prepare.
Hey, you want to? I'm just gonna give you a little preview.
A taste.
I'm gonna give you a preview of a voice, but I can't show you the video because it's too fly. But I got something for all like the haters out there for the Bears, right? That everybody wants to talk trash about the Bears, and they're not this and they're not that. Where is it? It is right here. Just listen real quick. Here you go. Yeah, here you go.
Care who you are, how much money you got, we don't care. We Chicago Bears. Bye-bye.
That's my pops, man. My pops is like, we don't care who you are, man. We the Chicago Bears. Bye-bye. Hey, What you want to talk about, man? What's on your mind, man?
So the most important thing on my mind is not Justin Fields. It's the guys who are protecting Justin Fields. Talk to me about you heard Getsy talking about the O-line and the consistency and everything. Darnell Wright had some injuries, but he was back this week, which is cool. Nate Davis, to me, that's the most intriguing thing. That whole Nate Davis situation. He was at practice yesterday, did not practice. It was personal reasons. He hasn't practiced. He hasn't played in any games. He hasn't practiced much. Hasn't played in any games. How concerned are you with him? That's 3 years, $30 million they're giving this guy for being a spectator. I'll go stand on the sideline for 3 years, $30 million. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, I said it last night on GN Sports. My first instinct is like, yo, I hope everything is okay. Just by like all the videos that I saw yesterday and people that were there, it seemed like something's going on. So I'm hoping that it's something off the field, that he gets it taken care of, and if it's something with his family or someone close to him, that everything's all right. Secondly, not concerned, but then I jumped onto the phone earlier in the day and called some of my peeps in Tennessee that are still around the organization. The one thing that came back to me about what you were talking about is not playing but not practicing a lot. Like, that's something that's been known, that people have been always talked about. I wasn't privy to that information, but yeah, he's a guy that, like, I guess doesn't like to practice. That's what I hear. And so that doesn't like to be around. So for a guy to get $30 million, come to Chicago, and this is your new squad, and like you've kind of not been seen on the football field, like I don't know. It's a little concerning to me. But people also talk to me, Shawn, about how the dude's a gamer. Like, he loves games, and I
watched film.
If that's all true, like, I knew, and I know we've known guys like that. We know guys that either don't like to practice, but they always show up on games. There's certain people that just love all aspects of it, right? Well, it's hard, because I think the first thing that people think of is Ryan Poles comes into their mind when you think about, giving him all that money and some of the other additions that haven't worked out. But I'm going to give it time just to see. But I said last night, I got anxiety about this offensive line. And
you do, huh?
Yeah, it's just because I don't know what they're going to be, and I have to wait and see on Sunday. Like, I literally have to wait and see. Like, if you were telling me that if you told me and my expectations, and I have this vivid moment in my brain of about to pull left into what's it called? Right onto the street that WG ends on, and go by the fire pitch that's right there. I was pulling, I was talking to myself, and I turned, and I'm going, man, if this offensive line can stay healthy, and this is a couple of weeks ago, like, this is at least almost 2 months ago. If they could just stay healthy. So I'm thinking Braxton Jones, I'm talking about Tevin Jenkins, some Cody Whitehair being at center. I'm like, Nate Davis, okay, at guard, and then you got the rookie. So I'm like, Darnell Wright. I'm like, if they could stay healthy, man, you never know what can happen. Well, that hasn't been the case. Now you got Cody moving around, and him being a vet, that doesn't concern me. The hand issue, listen, they wouldn't play him if the hand was that big, if he couldn't do what he needs to do. He's gonna go out there and ball. But yeah, Lucas Patrick at center, what am I gonna get? I don't know what I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
And
good Lucas, bad Lucas. Let's hope it's not bad Lucas.
That's the dude snapping to QB1.
Yeah.
And so, as much as we talked about Justin and how his development was going to be looked at under a microscope this season, and you get him all these weapons, some new weapons around him for him to be successful, the one thing that has to be consistent, has to be strong, is that offensive line. And I just don't know. And hence the reason why I'm getting anxiety.
Dude, I'm especially after that game yesterday. You know, Detroit usually Detroits themselves.
Dude.
And they did not Detroit themselves yesterday. And don't get me wrong, Kelsey didn't play, Jones didn't play. A lot of drop balls, but you know what? Nobody asked if these guys played. Did you win?
No.
Or did
you
lose?
win? Did you lose? That what they
Detroit won.
They ain't talking about it. I gotta do this to you. I gotta do this to you real quick too, because I had to do it to you. Listen.
But this one's going to be a shocker. I think that the Lions, with the stable of running backs that they have, Chris, are going to be able to run the football. And I am picking the Lions to beat the Chiefs
Dude,
I'm coming out. Hey, I'm coming out hot. I'm coming out hot with my Peyton's picks, man. And I'll tell you, Shawn, everybody talks about this division being wide open, like wide open. The NFC North, who's going to be the kings of the North? Even with that win last night, I know Detroit everybody's picked them to be the favorites in the division. I get that. But to me, it's still wide open, man. Like, first of all, there's no Aaron Rodgers.
No, that's
in a sense, not just only in Green Bay, but at the quarterback position in the division. Right. So I'm not normally that's the dude that I'm worried about. I'm always worried. I'm worried about the quarterback. I'm worried about 12. I'm like, he's not there no more. So this gives the opportunity for everybody as they go into week 1 to find a way to be able to stake your claim that, like, yo, we're here. So Sunday's the opportunity for Matt Eberflus and this Bears squad. Stake your claim, like, yo, we might not win the division, but bro, we're here. We're showing you what we're made of, and that comes to all guys on both sides, on all 3 phases in the game, coming out and having a great game. And I guess the chips will fall where they may when we see on Sunday.
You know, they will. And my thought is because Detroit, I was waiting for them to fall. I was waiting for them to fold. I was waiting for a holding call. I'm waiting for a personal foul. I'm waiting for a pick. I'm like this. I'm at my buddy's bar yesterday. I'm like, don't worry. I'm telling my guy, they're going to Detroit themselves. Don't worry. They're going to Detroit themselves. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Yeah. Come on, Patrick. Come on. And then it wasn't Patrick. It was the receivers. And when they won, I was like, okay. But my thought is this. You talked about no Aaron Rodgers. Good. I think this is the perfect time for our boys because everyone's talking smack about Justin. Everyone's talking, and I don't get it. It's just maybe it's too many people with PTSD about the Bears in recent history. Okay, I get it, but everything this guy's done is shown he's a winner. Everything this guy's shown, I'm talking about Justin Fields, shows he's a leader. And then one stat that I want to give you or talk to you, and this is why it's got me so fired up. In 2019. Josh Allen was in QBR is not the best thing, but it's a pretty good assessment to evaluate a quarterback. He was 24th in the league in 2019. Then he gets Stephon Diggs. He jumps to 3rd. In 2021, Jalen Hurts was 19th in QBR. They get A.J. Brown. He's 4th. In 2021, that same year, those same 2 years, Tua Tagovailoa is 18th in QBR. Then they get the Cheetah, Tyreek Hill. He jumps to 3rd. Last year, Justin Fields was 17th in QBR, and we got DJ Moore. How high is he going to jump? Dude, I am excited about this combo. I'm really excited. Talk to me about DJ Moore. We'll talk about Justin Fields in a second. But DJ Moore is playing with a stud quarterback for the first time in his NFL career. He's got a guy that he knows can get him the ball wherever, whenever he needs it, and he wants it. And this guy is eating without quarterbacks. How is he going to eat with this stud quarterback?
DJ special. I think Bears fans got a chance if they didn't know who he was, didn't understand who he was, and didn't watch, Panthers games. But now to have him on your squad and to see just the flashes that you got a chance to see, and good flashes, not like flashes. Oh, you only see this every once in a while. No, like these 2 quick flashes that you got a chance to kind of witness it during the preseason of how explosive he can be. Man, I'm I'm excited to be able to watch how Justin and DJ kind of grow as the year goes on.
He's only 25.
Yeah,
26?
but I'm just saying, just for the season though, right? Like just how they grow from the start of the season to the end of the season, because you could tell from the moment that at Hallis Hall, and I think a lot of people saw it because they follow social, so they see the clips. They have something that is there, and I think what DJ does for Justin is makes it feel like, yo, I always got a dude that I feel like is always open.
Yep.
Even when he's
still open.
He's open. and I think that's going to take some pressure off of Justin. Now, my thing is, oh no, I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going with DJ. The fact that he can take short passes, yak yards, take it the distance. He can, I mean, whatever area during the route tree, like he's good. And what gets me is like, dude doesn't even look like he's running fast, and that's what's scary to me. He just be like this, like
and blown away.
When you see dudes like that, like they got wheels, and like he's got that ability. That's what I love. At every single level, he can take it the distance. Now, the pressure is on Justin to not always keep his eyes and feel so comfortable that that's the only place that he wants to go, or forcing things in. If he's going to, ball's got to be accurate. You know what I mean? In tight coverage, ball's got to be accurate. We saw in the Buffalo game where he was running something on down by the sidelines, and Justin threw this ball that kind of like just wasn't a good ball. And I'm like, bro, if you're gonna throw that, yo, you got to throw a dime. Like if he dropped back, and it was on his right side. So Justin dropped back and was just staring like this whole way. Didn't look off anywhere to hold anybody, hold the safety on top. He was just like this, threw a bad ball. And I'm like, bro, I don't want that to be the norm. That can't be the norm. Like you got to be accurate. Ball's got to be out. Ball's got to be nice, and give him an opportunity to either go up and get it. Because on that play, there was no opportunity. So I think what DJ is going to do is change the game. And I'm hoping that he can be so dominant that it really does open up for other guys. And my whole hope was that it opens the game up for Darnell Mooney, so he gets an opportunity, right? Where all the focus is on DJ, and he can handle that. Like, I'm good over here.
I'm good with my one-on-one. I'm straight.
Yeah, I'm straight. Give these other guys opportunities to make plays. And so now it becomes that chess game, which the game of football is to me anyway, of like, yo, this dude's over here killing us. I need help over here. I need help over here. And now you're getting those one-on-one matchups in inside and on the other side, like all that stuff. Can they take advantage of it? To me, is going to be a huge deal. But I don't want to like step over questions that you have, but you said something that I've been saying early, right before you brought me on, and that's Luke Getsy, and that you said hot seat, and then you're like, well, no, not the hot seat. No, he's not on the hot seat, but he is. He's going to be
the spotlight.
He's going to be, the spotlight's on him.
Yeah.
Because now Justin has more weapons at his disposal. Like, how are you calling games? And I'm not saying that it's that I'm like, well, it's either here or not. No, it's not. It's just like, as much as we talk about Justin, it's about Luke Getsy as well. They're a pair. They're like this.
Yep.
And can you put him in situations to be successful so QB1 can really flourish? And QB1 on his hands got to be able to execute the offense and feel comfortable with it as they go on. Because during the preseason, and I'm saying this because this is how I feel, Justin didn't look comfortable. He didn't look comfortable to me.
No. Not like the intermediate and the deep downfield throws. He didn't look comfortable at all.
Didn't look comfortable at all. And what I wanted to see from him, I wanted him to in some ways look like Tyson Bagent. Like when Tyson Bagent, like there's no quarterback controversy here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just, you hear me out.
Put it to rest, folks. Relax. Take it easy.
That's not what I'm talking about. But I love to see when I was watching Tyson Bagent, I was like, dude, this dude's comfortable. Like, yeah, he might not be perfect, but he looks comfortable. Like he feels like you can tell he got a grasp of the offense. With Justin, it didn't seem like that, man. It was kind of like, and I don't know if some of that was me of being worried because I just was so worried about how much is he going to play, because that's the gift and the curse. Do you play a lot and get those reps, which Justin does need still to this day, or do you sacrifice the reps for the health and the safety of your starting quarterback? Well, I guess we'll see on Sunday how it all plays itself out. Everybody's been practicing. You had the joint practices with the Colts. All that stuff was good. I think not playing in that game, they got what they probably needed out of those joint practices in those 2 days with the Colts. But the one thing about Justin that I've always said, and I said this the same thing about back in the I should say this. I did say this. And they're not the same. It is not the same. But Mitchell Trubisky, I thought, needed more reps too as well. Like the more he played, the better he got.
Right.
Justin, I feel like the same thing. The more that he plays, the better he's going to be. And so it's about, we have to see that growth this season. Like we have to see this growth. And if you don't, man, I don't want to know what happens if you don't. I'm not even thinking about if he doesn't. It has to happen.
Yeah, because there was one play that I saw where it was I saw it in the game, and then I saw it on clips again. And once the all 22 came out, it was I think it was like a third down, and it was close to our end zone. He's back there as a cover two, front side, the right safety jumped in front of like an out route. And I think Darnell Mooney split the safeties and was behind him.
Oh yeah,
and
so I remember.
Yeah. And instead of standing there, and I know there was pressure coming from the right side, throw that right over that safety, and he's still running to this day. And I saw like, you gotta hit that, hit that.
Shawn,
what up, JP?
Come on, Shawn. That's if you watch that Bills game in the short period of time they was in, and I'm listening to people talk to me, and this is. Everybody should know this. I just gotta put it out there. And Justin is my dude, man. Like I love Justin, love him to death. I've been fighting for this dude. I was fighting for him for the Bears to get him here even before he was here. So, dude. But the one thing that everybody needs to be talking about, there was in that game, in the opportunities that he had, and the amount of snaps that he had in that game, it was limited. The O-line was never an issue, dog. He had time. He had time to throw the ball, which everybody's always like, oh, you got to give him time. He had time. He missed a lot. He missed opportunities. And that's why I was saying that where is the understanding to feel the offense, where take what the defense is giving you, man. Take what they're giving you. There were some opportunities to have some plays in those drives that he was in those Bills games. And it didn't happen. And I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like what's going on here. Whoa, what's the deal? So
let me ask you this question then. Do you think Justin can hurt himself by trying to get a big chunk when sometimes you just really need a 8-yard, a 6-yard pass, a 4-yard pass? All right, stay ahead of the chains. All right, because those big plays will come, especially after stuff breaks down and you start running, and then they're gonna have to keep a spy on you. Is he getting too hungry? Is he getting too greedy too soon, as opposed to saying, "Hey, here, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna force you to come up, and when you do, boom, I got you behind."
Yeah, I think the one thing that we even saw is after things switched up in offensively last season, where they kind of said, "Listen, we're just gonna figure this thing out, man. We're gonna, by any means necessary, he's gonna run the football. Like we're gonna run more." I think that's the hard part of young quarterbacks, especially dudes that are super like have the God-given ability like that to run with their legs that are just you don't like when you're 230 and running 4.3, man. Like
that's scary.
It's scary, but it's also one of those things that, and I've been in that position, like not at that level, but in high school when I did play quarterback, it was like, I dropped back. I didn't see what I liked, or I wasn't patient enough. I'm gonna do what I know what to do. Like I'm gonna use my 4.3 and I'm gonna get out of here. Like let's go. So I think relying on that is gonna be a hard thing, and I think that's the balance. The balance is can you effectively run the football, and how Getsy designs this the run game, the balance. Because I want to see everything. I want to see him move outside the pocket. I want to see those those RPOs. Like I want you to keep defenses guessing. And can you do that? Be successful. And then you got defenses on their heels. And then next thing you know, what I always love is here. Yeah, I'm not going to give. Drop back. Now those defenses sucked up. Now have the opportunity to make those throws.
Mm-hmm.
I think Justin's biggest issue and thing he has to get better at is those short to intermediate throws. Those have to be better. He's got to be more accurate there. If he can, we all know he can. We all know he can throw the deep ball, dude.
Mm-hmm.
The dude can spin the rock. The dude can spin the rock. And how crazy is it that we keep going back to this, though, Shawn, is the fact that, like, that's what this dude did at college. Like, he wasn't this running dude like this.
Not at all. Not at all.
So it's there. We know it's there. It's for him to have that confidence. And he's got to have
bingo.
He's got to have confidence early. And if he has confidence early, dude, he starts having success. The sky's the limit for QB1. I'm telling you right now. I was walking down the hallway coming from doing the 9 o'clock, and I was saying, someone came up and said something like, "You ready?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Dang, man, Patrick Mahomes be getting out of everything." And like he running and just tossing the ball up in the air like this, like
underhanded behind the back, like
a jump pad. I'm like, he doing this in the middle of the field, dude. Like, what is he doing? I'm like, dog, Justin could be like that. Like Justin could be him.
Yeah, and better.
Yeah,
and better.
Like, so, like, what? It all has to come out, but it means it's not just him, because he's not there. Where we saw last night with Patrick Mahomes that, a couple of drop passes here and there, the one to Kadarius Toney, not the take it back to the crib. Like, he didn't have Travis Kelce, which Travis is in that offense. He's everything. He's what DJ Moore. We hope DJ Moore is to this Bears offense, where it don't matter, man. Dude's so technically sound, understands leverage and coverage. That he's just going. You're at his mercy. You're at his mercy, whatever he does, and you just got to figure out, like, we ain't stopping him. We got to stop everybody else, but you can't stop this dude.
You can't stop him. You only hope to contain him.
Yeah, can Justin have that early success where he's like, "Yo, I got this," and
but that's where it falls on Getsy, because if you get that line, because Justin didn't have to run because he had 5 stars in front of him in offensive line, he had all day to throw. If you get him time, and then he had stud receivers. Look at Olave. Look at Garrett Wilson. So he had those dudes. Get him that time. If you give him time, man, I think that's the thing you talked about. You said that I think the key word is comfortable. When he's comfortable with his offensive line, man, he'll pick you apart. But he's got to get comfortable. And the sooner he does that, man, oh man, he's gonna be a surgeon. Let me ask you 2 more questions before we let you go.
Yes, sir.
The defense. That secondary was a strength at the end of the year last year. They added some guys. Talk to me about your boy from the U. They're going to pick on him. He's a rookie. How the league goes, you got to see what you're made of. How does that dude do? All right, with his aggressiveness, Tyreek Stevens, his aggressiveness, he had a couple, late hits, and But talk to me on how you think that secondary overall is going to do, because Kyler Gordon is in the second year of the system, so he's really comfortable in the slot. You still got Jalen Johnson. Jaquan Brisker, I think, is going to have a breakout year. I'm excited. But talk
Dude.
to me about that whole unit, but your
Yeah.
boy from the U, because he's going to be picked on and targeted a lot.
Yeah, I mean, man, Tyreek is he's a baller, man, and I think it's only going to come with time. I think I love his big frame. I like his length. I love everything. His football IQ. He is going to get picked on, and maybe not even just right out the gate. I mean, we don't know what Jordan Love's going to be like, right? I mean, we really don't know. I mean, is he going to be that surgeon picking everybody apart? Or to me, if the Bears can find a way to get some pass rush and keep him uncomfortable, man, that's ideal. It would help guys out like Tyreek. I really do. Kyler, I'm looking forward to seeing him too. Like, there were times last year where he struggled. I think he was pressing a little bit, but now, moving inside, and I think it's going to give him an opportunity to shine. We know what Jalen's all about. He wants his new bag. He's trying to get it. He's trying to get a new bag.
He's like, throw it my way, baby. Throw it my way.
I mean, and that's what you want to see out of him is more interceptions. You want to see him being able to get those takeaways. Jaquan has the ability just to. He's the one that I'm looking at, because not only does he talk that talk, man, dude likes to come down and hit. He's physical.
He'd have been perfect in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, where you could really lay a sucker out. You know what I mean? Like, that's his game. Like, he would put him back then. Whoo, he's hurting some people.
I mean, getting after the quarterback. Anytime you have a young dude I think he had like 4 sacks last year. I mean, come on, man. Like, second most tackles on the team. Like, that's what you want. Dude, he's a beast. The back end of that defense, to me, has the opportunity to be nasty. It right now is the strength of that defense, and I think we have to see with how that front line gets it done. Like,
that was my last question.
Yeah,
so you think they've done enough? Because if Jordan Love, if Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson aren't going to play or limited because of the hamstring injuries, they're on the report. They're going to, first of all, we know they're going to run the ball regardless. They're not going to put the whole game on Jordan Love. Do you think they've done enough or are going to be ready enough to stop that run game? Because that is a very potent run game that Green Bay has.
Bruh. That's the question mark.
$1 million question.
The question mark is, can they, dude, Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon, they combined for, I think, over 400 yards together in the 2 games that they played against the Bears last year.
$1 a piece each game.
You gotta stop it. And so, like, we look at like Javon Dexter and Zach Pickens, young guys, right, that are on that line that can they find a way to, in this rivalry, in this opening game, their first true, like, this is preseason is cool. Sunday is different, dog. Yeah. Sunday is different. When you walk
you ain't
out
got guys
there,
working on technique at your face, and you got grown ass men trying to feed their families.
Dudes that are playing there, they got to pay bills, that are like, they coming at you. I think that is where we're going to see, like, what they say, when the rubber meets the road.
Hits the road.
This is it. They gotta find a way, because this will be a long season, Shawn, if they can't get after the quarterback or they can't stop the run. I mean, last year they were giving up 159 or 57 yards per game.
Yeah.
Like, that number has to go down. It has to go down if they're going to have any chance of winning more ball games than they did last season, or having to find a way to strike some luck and find a way to stay relevant inside the division. Like, make it happen. Like, that's what it's going to come down to. So the 2 biggest question marks for me heading into Sunday is the one thing that you said right before I came on, that I say almost every single time that I talk: you're not winning football games. You're not getting to the playoffs. You're not winning a Super Bowl unless you can dominate on both sides of the line of scrimmage. And that's where my biggest question marks are heading into this game, which I hope that wasn't the case before, training camp started, But that's where we are right now. And so I think Bears fans just got to sit back and wait. As much as I want to talk about it, I'm like, we'll see on Sunday. We will see on Sunday what they're all about. And then you and I can break it down after that and just figure it out. We'll have a little bit more. And I think by like week 4, then we'll really have a kind of a better grasp of where this football team is as they head on to the rest of the season.
Man, thank you so much, Jared. I love, man, me and you could talk sports for hours, baby. Talk football for hours.
Yeah, we could talk Cubs baseball. We ain't talking about no White Sox, though. I'll tell you that.
No, hey, you know what? Leave my White Sox alone. They suck, and we know it.
Dude, y'all need to figure it out, man.
Dude, I was my first guest today was Evan Altman from CubsInsider.com, and I was like, he was mad. He was saying about a walk-off or something. Like I said, yeah, at least you didn't get balked off like we did. We lost that game.
Literally, that moment was what the season was like what the season's been like for the White Sox, right?
Yes.
Like, what is going on? Tim Anderson getting knocked out with that one hit quitter. Like, what is going on?
That wild. The guy his head was down, reaching.
Hey, he came out. Hey, he came out looking like
he was about to do something. Like,
I
oh snap!
I was like, okay.
Get your money's worth before you get suspended. At least get your money. Give him a 2-piece or something.
What you gonna do, dog?
He took a one-hitter quitter. I was like, oh man, Tim. Hey, but thanks. Before you go, let everyone know where they can find you and your work online and on TV.
Yo, just hit me up, man. At Peyton Sun, PAYTONSUN on every single platform, man. That's what we're doing, and just be looking out, man. I'm having a lot of new stuff. I'm still thinking in my mind for like what next week looks like of posting stuff, whether it's on Twitter, on X, or whether it's on IG, all that stuff. Like this year, I'm gonna be giving out just more content for people so they can have, man. Just you need more content, Bears fans, and hopefully give Bears fans an opportunity too. I don't want to talk that much. I want to give them an opportunity to talk, have a platform to talk. So that's the goal this year. The goal is to help more Bears fans get their voices out there about how they feel about this football team. So just find me, hit me up. You see it right here, Peyton Sun.
Thanks, Papa. We'll be in touch soon, man.
All right, man. Peace out.
Down.
Thank you.
All right, now, guys, that's Jared Payton from GN Sports. Man, he's got the same concerns that I do. That offensive line, Nate Davis. All right, it's personal. They said, the reports were that he was hugging Coach Eberflus yesterday. So it's mostly, well, not most likely. It's a personal issue because he was out for personal reasons and he looks healthy. So listen, what we're going to do, we'll talk about that. We're going to finish up with my guy, Jason Palmer. Let's take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, we're going to wrap this baby up. It's the last break of the show and last break of the week. Whew, Charlie, I can't even tell you how fired up I am, baby. I am fired the freak up. So listen, don't go anywhere, folks. Quick break. All right, run, go to the bathroom real quick, grab your coffee. We'll be back right after this with Jason Palmer closing this bad boy out. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Off the fake. Fields against the grain. Finds Jesse James. Field. With time. Delivers down the field. And Cowboys. Still running. Made one way. Fields stumbling. Trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown.
911, operator 901. Where's the emergency?
127 Brynmere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency line.
Do you know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks Like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
How is Chase integrated back into practice?
What do you mean?
Being injured and now practicing.
Yeah, he's back in. He was full go. He was. He's been great. The last 2 weeks there hasn't been any limitations or anything like that. He's been fine. We threw him kind of right back into the role that you guys saw most of training camp.
Is there a kind of like a ramp up process for him and Justin getting back on the same page of kind of like where they left off in early August?
I don't think so. I think that I thought Chase had a really good camp up until the injury, so I think they had a ton of work together. I don't remember how long he was out, 2 weeks or whatever it was, but I don't think so. I think probably more for Chase just getting his wind back and getting his feet back underneath him, which he did a week ago, and then yesterday he was back full speed.
Well, welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. That was our offensive coordinator Luke Getsy, who is going to be under the microscope this year. He's got all the things that he needs. Now he has to put this offense in a position, especially QB1, to be successful. Welcome my guy Jason Palmer, who's going to join us for the closeout of this show. Jay, you were backstage and you heard JP talking. I see you're all you'd up, man. Lord have mercy, you are fired up.
Yeah, we got a big game tomorrow, man. We hosting Texas A&M. I'm on a plane tonight to go down to Miami for one day for that game. So, big college game. But I was listening to my brother Jared Payton, and it's funny. I got the same concern he has, and I think all of us have about the offensive line. And it's really sad because we're all pulling for Justin. He finally got some receivers he can throw the ball to. Now we're concerned on if he's going to be protected. Is he going to be running for his life? And I don't want to see him lead the league in rushing. Okay, it was cute. It's fun. It's nice to see him. He's definitely an exciting runner. But if the Bears are going to win, man, he's got to be able to throw the ball down the field and utilize the weapons that he has in that receiving core and in that tight end core. And, you can't do nothing with our offensive line. You can't even run the ball if your offensive line isn't there. And, I just really want to see this young man get the opportunity to showcase his full skill set, which we all believe is there. And but he can't do it by himself. You can't win this sport by yourself. This ain't tennis. This ain't golf. This ain't an individual sport. It's a team sport. And he's got to get that O-line protection. And I am prayerful that whatever is going on with Nate Davis, that in his personal life, whatever that is, it's keeping him away from the team, that can get resolved. I'm really concerned about this old line, and I had concerns about it before it got hit with these injuries. So we'll see what happens, man. But here's the good thing, Shawn. It's the first week of the season, and everybody got issues.
That's truer words are never spoken. There's a lot of people with a lot of issues, whether it's holdout, whether it's injury, whether it's personal issues. That we're not the only team going through. We only give a shit about our team because it's our team. Right. But the fact of the matter is that it is going around league wide. I hope Nate Davis everything does come back. One thing that I did see, I think the offensive line has done okay. But the thing that's most important is that Justin feels and realizes that it's okay. All right. Because if he, I was talking, I don't know if you were still on and backstage when I was talking about the throw that he missed and he decided to scramble out a third down and he came up short. He hits Darnell Mooney. Like if he hits that one pass, I am completely comfortable because that shows that you're ready. Okay. But he felt that pressure from the side, bailed out. He could have stood in the pocket, throwing that ball. He might have taken the hit, but those are the throws you got to have. Those are the throws you signed up for this. You weren't forced. All right. You're going to take some hits. Joe Burrow got $275 million, $219 million guarantee because he's got to take some of those hits to make those throws. And I know it was only preseason, but if he had hit that throw, Jason, my outlook would be so much more clear and sunny. Because I'm like, okay, he sees the throws, he sees the guys breaking open, and he's willing to stand there and take a hit for it. So I'm still concerned with his as Beast Mode like to say, with his mentals. because that's more important than his physicals right now. All right.
Agreed.
If he's confident in what he sees and stands there and delivers, cool. But we're not going to find out until Sunday, 3:25.
Well, here's the thing, Shawn. I think Bears fans also have to understand this too, and this is just my psychology background. You know, he's suffering from damn near post-traumatic stress disorder from his first 2 years and all the stuff he had to deal with. All he's known in his NFL career is, I got to bail out of this thing and get the ball moving. So I think there's going to be, for him, a period where he's got to get comfortable with letting the past be the past. You know, when I was in my car accident 5 years ago, where a drunk driver hit me from behind when I was just sitting at a red light, it literally took me 2 years to recover from that mentally. You know, I had to go see my psychologist about that to understand, Jay, that was a 1 in a million kind of thing. Every time you sit at a stoplight, a car is not going to hit you. But the way the mind works, the way this brain works, it remembers stuff. And when you've gone through some sort of trauma, which Justin has, the boy has been crushed the first 2 years of his career. We have to give him that time to get past that mental block. And I think the better the offensive line is, the more he can have confidence in them, like you just said, the better off he will be. But and that's why I wanted him to play more during the preseason. You and I had that conversation. Right. And I was like, I get what you're saying, Shawn, but I need him to play a little bit more so that he can get comfortable. But then, you know, in that last game, we saw him take that shot, and they were like, okay, that's enough.
No, it was scheduled. It was this pitch count, like, nah, stop lying, fool. We ain't dumb. Don't look me in the eye, piss on my shoes, and tell me it's raining. Get the hell out of here. We know.
Yeah. And I couldn't fault the coaching staff for that either, because you also can't get him hurt in a preseason game. So
why? We got Tyson Bagent.
I mean, it's going to be very interesting. To me, that is the thing I'm looking most forward to of watching the Bears season, is just to analyze is just this offensive line. I'm really going to watch the trenches more than anything else, because honestly, I think your team and my team, the Dolphins, I think we're dealing with the same thing with our quarterbacks with confidence. You know, Tua's got to have confidence that he's not going to get hit with a finger and fall into concussion mode again.
Be a vegetable.
Right. And then Justin's got the same concern. So it's very interesting, that dynamic right now with the Bears and the Dolphins. Both of them have concerns about being able to keep their quarterbacks upright and healthy, because we've seen both of them, when they have confidence, both of these dudes can go off because they've got the tools. Miami's got a track team with receivers, and the Bears have definitely improved their receiving core. So, you know, you just got to be able to keep your quarterback upright, and these quarterbacks have to have the confidence to make those throws, and they're not rushing. And in Justin's case, he's got to – I really don't want to see him bailing out of that pocket and running, man. I just think some nasty things can happen if you keep doing that.
Yeah, well, here's the thing that really concerns me is this right here. All right. This is the first play of the game. You see at the bottom, first quarter, 14 minutes, 52 seconds left. First play of the game. All right. Look where the defensive line, look where the line of scrimmage has been reestablished.
Yeah.
Okay. They are the Buffalo Bills, and that's a good defense. All right. That's a good defense. They're nowhere near middle of the road defense. That's a good ass defense. Okay. But this is a defense I wanted to see our offensive line. If nothing else, even if you don't establish it on the other side of the line of scrimmage, establish it at the line itself. And this is first play of the game. Buffalo gets off the ball. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys on the other side of the ball, and the running back doesn't even have the ball yet.
And this is on a running play, right?
This is a running play. So so you're coming out, you're firing out as an offensive lineman. So this to me is my biggest concern. Because you're coming out, you know, this is the first play of the game. You're fired up, you're jacked up, you can't wait to knock this dude up. And guess what? They got the best of you. If they can correct this, and they can establish a running game, we are going to destroy a lot of people. Because this three-headed monster that we have at running back, if you have to bring somebody in, or whoever it is, I don't know about necessarily bring someone down, or you can't shade double team DJ Moore, because you want to make sure that somebody that run game is not going to kill you. Justin Fields is going to have a field day, pun intended. And you still got Chase Claypool, who's in a contract year. You still got Darnell Mooney, who's in a contract year. There's so many weapons, not to mention the 2 tight ends. If that offensive line holds up and establishes that running game, Justin Fields will be lethal with his arm. And that, to me, that hurts. That's my biggest cause for concern. We're going to go as far as this offensive line goes, because if Justin doesn't have the confidence, he's going to miss some of those throws because he's going to pull it down like he did in the last preseason game, or he's going to run. And you just can't. You're not going to win. You're not going to go deep into the playoffs if you continue to run. It's a chess game. Force their hand. Force their hand. You must come and stop this run game, or we will beat you 17-3, 17-10, because we just ran, and we will win by attrition. They're going to change. You change. They're going to adjust. You adjust. That's what it is. So that's the only reason I'm concerned. Not the only. That's the biggest reason. And the second is Justin being comfortable behind the line. That's,
and for me, Shawn, I really want to see him use his tight ends more this year. I really want to see him use his tight ends more, because here's my thing. If you're nervous about sitting back there in the pocket, use your tight ends more, because they typically are not going to be running as deep as a pattern. You can get the ball off a hell of a lot quicker to your tight end than you can on your deep route. But I also think the Bears offense, you got to stretch the field out, man. And that's what I didn't really see in the preseason, was them taking the deep shots. And I get you're not going to, show off all your plays or whatever in the preseason. But I think being able to stretch that field out is also going to help the running game. It's also going to help Justin, man, because I'm cool with him just doing the Dan Marino against the 85 Bears, just getting rid of the ball as soon as you get it. But,
and he's got playmakers who he can throw to. You saw what DJ Moore did in the middle of the field?
Yeah.
Did a little spinorama, said and turned around, outran. I was like, man, dude, we got players now. He's got players to do that.
Yes, he does. And use your running backs out of the backfield. Them dudes can catch the ball. They can catch the ball too. Use it, man. If you feel that pressure is coming and teams are starting, you don't have the greatest offensive line, call some more screen plays. Don't call that stupid bubble screen. I hate that play. I think that's the worst play in football. And what was that offensive coordinator Bears had? Yeah, I was like, dude, if you call this damn play
one more Mickey Picky time.
Yeah, but
I'm going down to the lakefront right now myself.
Right, but I think you use some running back screens that'll help alleviate some of that pressure. If he's not confident and he feels he's getting pressured, then use some of your other tools, man. You got tools now, man. They're giving you some more tools in that chest to work with. So it's going to be an adjustment process. I also agree with what you and Jared said. Let's analyze him after week 4, and I know that's hard for us. It's
impossible it's impossible. Dude, he throws one drop back. If it's a false start, get him out of there. Tyson Bagent, how do you have a false start in the first play of the game? Fire him. Cut. Dude, relax.
Yeah. Right. Everybody got to relax.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, everybody got to relax, man. I think you got to give this team to at least week 5, week 6. To kind of see how they're gelling, because I think by then we'll see how they gel, and you should start having people coming back from injuries. But it is football.
The O-line will have a better sense of because his Nate going to play, because whatever's going on with Nate, Nate is 75-80% of Nate or 90% of Nate mentally better than Ja'Tyre Carter, or you know what I mean? Like, is this and this is something that you have to figure out when you're a head coach, when you're offensive coordinator. I mean, he's very familiar with this system, this type of zone blocking scheme. So that's not an issue. All right. Just maybe picking up the line calls. That shouldn't be an issue if you're in, you're a couple of meetings, a couple of camps. I mean, during camp, you'll be fine. It's not that difficult. So, is he better? Yeah, I don't know. I'm anxious to see, because if you got him in there, those front 3, dude, I'm telling you, the run game is your 2 guards in your center. If you control those guys, you control the game. Because what happens if they bring somebody on the outside, no problem. Now we're slanting behind them. So those 3 guys are the run game, and we got to see how well they gel, how well they really have a good sense of chemistry, because the season for the Bears is going to be determined by that offensive line.
Yeah, it is, and it's going to be a interesting season for the Bears. I think for many people, I'm not going to say everybody, but for many people, they kind of look at this as a prove-it season for Justin.
Yeah,
I think
many are.
I can understand the argument, but I also think you got to, the first season, I don't even count because it was just chaos. So I look at that.
Get used to your dodgeball skills and get run.
Right, exactly. I don't even count that first year. I look at this as his second year. So for me, this is not a proven year for him. This is his second year, man. He's now under the same coach, under the same offensive coordinator. He'll get better. Now, next year, I would definitely say is a proven year for him. The jet sweeps, yeah. I think you want to see some improvement though, and I want to see that improvement probably starting in the last 3 quarters of the season. Again, I'm gonna take these first probably 4 games. I'm gonna look at, okay, let's see how the offensive line is gelling. Let's see kind of what their philosophies are, and then kind of go from there. But I think the Bears are gonna be okay, and I keep telling everybody you'll be better than you were last year. You know, if they get 6 or 7 wins, be happy with it. You should go with the improvement. It could be more, it could be less. You never really know. But I'm just glad football is back, man. That's all I got to say. I'm watching my Dolphins, but all these games are going to be good. And I did tell you, Detroit is not going to Detroit themselves this year, Shawn. I think they're going to be a threat, man. They were the hottest team in the second half last year.
Well, I said that as well. I did say they're going to Detroit themselves, but I did say they still scare me. I said they still scare me. The culture. People make fun of culture, and when Dan Campbell came in talking about biting people's kneecaps and they're all laughing at him, I'm like, no, that's the coach that you want to. That's the coach that players want to play for. A guy who's into it, a guy who's passionate. Okay, and there's different ways of being passionate. He's maybe more goofy passionate, all right? But passion is there. Players understand that he wants to win, and he'll do whatever it takes to win, and he demands that you do anything, whatever it takes to win. And players will play for a guy like that. And you know what? It doesn't matter how you won, because I think Kansas City lost that as more opposed to Detroit won it with all those drops. But they don't ask, did you lose or did you win the game? Period. Yes or no. All right. End of story. Did you get the dub or did you get the L? And Detroit got the dub yesterday. And you know what? You can say what you want. We can talk about Kelsey not playing. We can talk about Jones not playing. It doesn't matter. That doesn't factor in your 1-loss record. Did you win or did you lose? You lost? Well, now you're 0-1. So,
right,
man. Hey, Jason, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate you hopping on, man. Folks, it's been an awesome week. Short week, but it was an awesome week. We're excited, man. Football started last night. Our Bears are Sunday, and just so you know, Jason, I got credentialed. I'll be in the press box Sunday, so I'm excited about that. Guys, you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. It's a little cooler, so fall is here. I get a little sweater. You can wear jeans and a little pull-up, zip-up, whatever, man. All right, but make sure you enjoy this weekend with your loved ones. What better way to enjoy it than with your family and friends watching a Bear game? That's what I'm talking about. So for everyone here, sports.
Get your steaks, y'all. Get your steaks on the grill.
Get them. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, Elliot, our executive producer, Clarence, our social media guy, Maya, my co-host, Adam Sencha, and my guy, Jason Palmer. Guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Lakina McGee and Sydney Brown are coming up at 12:15 with Second City Sports. The Smoke Fellows are on tomorrow at 11. Man, we got you covered. So, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Bear the freak down. Hope we're talking Monday about another Bears victory. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, for Jason Palmer, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. We are out.